As a dad, it is essential that you have control over your family's finances. That's because money is this incredible tool that, when used correctly, can lead your family to prosperity. And when not used correctly, can lead you down some pretty dark paths. A budget, then, is a way of checking that you are managing your money correctly. Today, I want to show you a very simple and easy way to use a budget. It's not as scary as you think. It's very easy to do. And I'm going to give you access to my exact budget that we'll be doing in this video. So if you want access to that, just check the link below. And with that, let's dive into this. Now, before we dive into that spreadsheet, I just want you to know, wherever you are in your finance journey, it's okay. You start from where you start. Now, a budget is a very cool tool that allows you to just see where you are and see where your money is going. It's not a restrictive thing, it's a freeing thing, because once you know where your money is going, you can make some big decisions and make some big moves to get where you want to go with your family. Now, it's not easy managing all the different money and payments that are going out when you have a family. So this is a great way to get on top of that. So with that, just know that you can be the captain of your family's ship, the CEO of the family business. But if you do that, you have to have a budget, and you have to use a budget to make sure that the money is being allocated to the right places so that you're living the life that you really want. Okay, that's it. Right, let's get into this spreadsheet. Okay, don't be stressed out. This is my Doug's Mindful Money tool that I use for financially fit fathers. Now, it may look a little confusing. Let's go through everything just nice and slowly. I know some people will see a spreadsheet and go, that doesn't have to be the case. As simple as this. Okay, let's just focus on this section here. Now, using the link below, if you want to follow along, you can. All that happens here is I put in the income from the different places I get it. So I have a day job that's stunting. I also have my side hustles, which is yoga and meditation. I also have a library of meditations that gets consumed. Gifts, my mother sometimes sends me stuff for Jet or for myself. Investment sales, if I sell off some investments, makes sense. And then other, just miscellaneous. You can change those as you want, but just make sure any income that is coming in goes in here. I have adjusted this to pay my 22% tax because I'm a limited company. So you can change that if you want, but that's what I pay because I'm a limited company. Now, let's just look at what goes on here. So we've got this adjusted number. What we have below is 3 bits of expenses: past, future, and present. So this is the way I like to think about how my money is getting moved around and used. And this is important because there's some clear numbers that we should be hitting when it comes to this, or missing, depending on how you look at it. So let's look at past. Past is just all the bills that you've agreed to already, not including your business. Now, that's important. Just your kind of household expenditure. So I know for my housing, my rent, for me it's a mortgage, it's almost $1,600. Transportation is roughly $120. Phone bill, insurance, you kind of get the idea. So these are all my fixed costs. So this is what past Doug is paid for. Now, water is not in there, and that's just because I pay water once a year instead of every month. So you have to allow for that too. Okay. Next thing is my future. So this would be savings or debt payments, emergency fund, going on adventures, business development, business education, my accountants, my insurance, and this is all business related. And I put this in future because I see it as building towards my future as much as investing into stocks could be my future. So is making sure my business, which this is part of, is working. Now, amongst future too is my investments, 900 for the pension, 450 for the ISA, 200 for crypto, and Jet gets 200 too. That's my son. And this last area here, this last column, is the present day. So this is all my discretionary spending. So as you see, I don't spend that much on myself. Clothing, yeah. Just keep in mind, this is for January only. Okay, this does fluctuate. The past column will stay pretty similar. The future one hopefully will stay pretty similar if you keep up your investments. And the present one, for me, is the one that should change depending, because these things need to get taken care of first. Okay, there's some argument that your investments should come first and then you decide how much you have left for bills. But nonetheless, those are where you put your expenses. So far, stick with me. You just put in your income here. It'll tell you how much you have net after you save for tax. And then we put in here all your expenses, and I put them into this past, future, and present format. Now that's important because once these numbers all come in, and I'll show you where you get them from in a second, I start to get some percentages. So generally we say that you shouldn't be spending more than 50% on your fixed costs, the past due. Okay, those are your bills. So you can see here, I'm just under 49. Very happy about that. It wasn't always that, so I've had to change things to allow for that. Now for the future me, I should be putting at least 20%. I've put that to 30 because I feel like I'm a little bit behind with pensions. So 30% of my income is going to future. Savings means short term and investments means long term. So you can see here, I'm actually going way more into my investments long term than into my savings. Then lastly, my present day, the goal is to spend 20%. Now this is different to the past year where you're trying to not spend more than 50%. Here you're trying to hit at least 20% when it comes to present you so that you're enjoying life and it doesn't feel like such a squeeze on life. And that's something I feel a lot of the time. I feel like I'm being squeezed by life, but then you see me put money away from my investments. So I have to remember to enjoy myself too. So you can see I've only hit 9.19%. So I could do with spending more on myself. And what you get here is a running tally. As you can see here, I have 6,296 to spend total. And then what happens here is I have this cool thing which shows you how you're doing. Now the goal here is actually to get to zero each month. So once you plug everything in, you can start messing around and going, okay, I see that I've not spent enough on my present day self, so I should spend more there. So what happens if I treat myself to some clothes? 200. How much do I have left? 133. So what if I buy Kylie a gift for 133.63? And now we're to zero. And I've also brought my present day percentage up. Okay. So that is the idea. You're trying to get to zero. Now this will be a rough guide, okay, the whole time. But that's the idea. The beginning of the month, you're forecasting, you're looking forward. You know how much is coming in. You know what your bills are, and then you can decide how much you actually have to spend on discretionary things. Because what we tend to do is spend money on discretionary spending, our present day, and then go, oh, I don't have any money left for our investments. We don't want to do that. We want to make sure this is last. And this is a great way to do it, especially if you have variable income like me. So let's get into this month as I do this. I duplicate this. I've done it already, but I'm just going to duplicate that. And the great thing about your fixed costs is that they're the same every month. So let's call this February now. And I've done February already there, but I just want to show you how I do it. We rename it. And this will be. And I'm just going to show you. Okay. So I'm a variable income person. So this all changes for me. So this is very important for me each month to do. Okay. So you can see as things are, I need £6,630 to make it through the month. Okay. That's not entirely true, but we'll go through that in a second. My day job this month, because I'm variable income, is I have 1 day of stunting, then a week of stunting. It's probably going to be around 3,000. It's probably around £4,000. Okay. From the side hustles, I know that my meditation has been a big month. So I have 2,000 plus the retainer I get. So that's 3,000. Okay. And that's it. So you can see here, I'm still overspending. So I know that my past me, I probably can't change these. Now, as it happens, I changed my healthcare from Bupa to Aviva, which I used USave. And now I actually am paying only 103. It might be even less. I'll have to check that. But I've taken off £100 from my Bupa straight away for the same cover. So that's one thing you can do, is always be checking if you can change these things, if you can update your payments in any way. Council tax, I can't. Electricity is about the same. Insurances, I can't do much about. So those all stay the same. Now you can see here, we still have a deficit of £1,000. Now that's a problem because I'm not making that much in February. So what do? Okay, I can't do anything about my accounts. I can't do anything about my insurance. My pension, last month I put 900 in. I normally put in 400 as a direct debit. And then the rest is made up by if I make more money. So for instance, this month in February, if I luckily enough, get some more work come in, then I'll add that back. So these are kind of my baselines. Jet always gets us 200. Crypto's another one. So I might think, oh, is this a year? Is this a month I want to get rid of crypto? Maybe, maybe not. I would rather look at this column first, if I'm honest. So I know clothing, I don't need new clothes this month. Fine, let's get eating out. I know I don't need to eat that much out, so we can change that to maybe 100. The gym is the same. BOJ is the same. Kylie, unfortunately, she's not going to get a gift this month, so it'll be 100. And these things kind of remain the same. So you can see I'm £100 short. So this is great forecasting to know, okay, this month is not a big month for me. Okay. Now, options. I can either go get more income or I can reduce spending somewhere. All right. Business education. I might go, maybe this is a month that I don't do the education as I want. I say, sorry guys, I can't do it. Maybe this is a month I say to jiu-jitsu, hey, I'm gonna take the month off. And now we're £60 up. So I could actually keep jiu-jitsu and get rid of the business education if I want to take a month out of that. You see how this works. This allows you to see where you are. And one of the things I coach the dads with all the time is to act their wage. So it's easy to see a big chunk of money. If I see £7,000 hit my bank account, I'm like, woo, I am flying. But then I do this and I go, it's not as good as I would like it to be. Now with this much coming in, 7,000 coming in, what is the case for these goals here? So past me is spending a little bit over the odds. So again, is there something I can do about here? I'll maybe look at these insurances. And again, I'll show you where I get all this data in a second. Future me, that's pretty on target. Present me always suffers the most. And that's right, because I have to index for these things, all right? So I really need to make more sales. So one of the things I know is I've made a sale just this week on my coaching. So I'll add this in, and that is 1,000. Okay, so now we're back in business, all right? You can see that's updated. So I can either go out and get more work, or I can spend less money. That's what this is for. Again, this is the tester. This is what my month actually looks like. So you can see here, how much are we spending? Again, I'm in the ballpark with all of these. I could do with spending some more money on myself. So I have this 183 left. So I should, spending money on myself, I could maybe some more coffee out. I like to have that budget. That's something I like. I like eating out. So let's go 133.63. And then we're back to zero with all things being even here. So I must have miscalculated my side hustles on the last one. So you can kind of see what's going on here. Now, other things on this page, just so you know. I have my goals of what I want to hit, and this just helps me keep track of these things. I also have a ISA limit, because you can only put in a certain amount of limits. So these are just extra things. So if you see those, don't be kind of confused. This is the main focus, the forecasting and the budgeting. Now I get all this data from an app called MoneyHub, which is what I suggest all the dads get to use, because MoneyHub connects via open banking to all your different bank accounts. So I'm just going to pause this for a second while I sign in. All right, and this is us. This is MoneyHub. This is your dashboard. As you can see, the fluctuations of income as a stunt guy radically change, especially December, November. February will look better towards the end of the month. It's just the beginning, but you can see January, very dry month. But here's what I want to show you. If I go to spending analysis, it will show me, if I go back to January, here where I get all those figures from that you saw in the last place. So you can either use their categories, or you can get really granular and go in here and go travel. Okay, what do I mean by travel? Let's have a look. One to the south side, so that's parking. Kingston, it's a parking ticket. So actually, just so you know, I tend to put this under something called life mistakes, so I can see how many life mistakes I make in the year. So I'm going to change that. But yes, this app will connect to all your banking accounts. I have lots. I have a business. I have a personal. I have a credit card. So this will add to all these. So again, you can see all of the different prices, and I add those now into my Mindful Money, and that gives me a pretty accurate description. Again, I just want to change this healthcare. I went from Bupa to Aviva, like I say, worth doing 103, I think it is. So that reduces things down. I got another 88 quid to spend. Let's go. Drinks out with the boys. Way. Okay. And now I'm slowly bringing that present me up. When you look at this, you'll quickly know, and you can see that one's triggered red because I've spent slightly over this. When you use this really easy to use form, what will happen is you'll quickly see if you're someone who's heavily indexed on the future, which I am, or if you're heavily indexed in the present or the past. And it's not that you shouldn't be indexed on any of those. It should be indexed in the right amount. Past you should be getting 50% of your wage. Future you should be getting 30, and present you should be getting 20. Now, strictly with what I see here, what I should probably do is either take my ISA or my crypto or my pension. I'm probably most likely to take the crypto, and I should probably take that out this month and spend it on myself or someone I care about. So I can go here and put 213, and this is how I kind of balance the books of my life, maximizing for fulfillment. So there we go, 12%. That's a little bit better. Okay, you get the idea. Now, just so you know, like I say, I have my goals here. So what you can do here, again, using Money Hub, which is so great, I can go to my investment analysis. I can look at my pensions and go, all right, 10,000, and where's another pension? 38,000. So that's 48,000 plus 6,000. So that's 54,000 in there. So I can go in here. I can update that. I'll just put in the actual number. It doesn't like me writing it like that. So I'll do it again. So there you go. So it updates it. I'm now 5% on my way to my pension, and that's okay. That's okay. 13,000. That hasn't changed. My ISA saving, and you get the idea. I just update all of these. I also want my goal of total cash investments to be 100,000. If I go in here, I can check it out. And if you watch my stuff, you'll know 95,880. So this is kind of exciting. So it shows you what's been happening in my world. So I'm 95% of the way to the 100 grand mark. So, and lastly, with my ISAs, this is just a good way to make sure that I don't overdo my ISAs, because you want to do that. So I know I've got around 6,000 in my ISA. So that means I've got £1,000 left for the year to make the most use out of, at least. Okay, that's it. That's how to do the budget. If you want a hand with doing this one-on-one with me, this is what I do with the fathers out there. It may seem complicated. It's easier than you think, and it's so powerful. Is it going to be right every time? No, it'll be a rough estimation, but it's going to give you a better feeling of how you go into the month, which is going to change your psychology of how you spend your money, because you're not going to be going, I'm balling. You're going to go, this is a mid-month for me, okay? Again, if you need help with this, check the link below. You'll get access to this spreadsheet as well as access to my community. And then if you'd like to get on a call with me, we can do that too. All right, peace. Have a good month. See you next month for the same.